and the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and it is Saturday, and you know what that means. It's time for the toy news, action figure news of the week that interested me, that hopefully interests you, and quite the week on the channel this week, quite the week in the toy news. We got a ton of toy news to dive into, multiple pages of toy news if you can believe that. We're going to be covering G.I. Joe Classified this week, some new stuff going on over there, same thing with Marvel Legends. We'll be talking wrestling, and of course, Todd from the couch and all points in between. A lot to dive into, but first, got to knock out some housekeeping, and the first thing I want to say is thanks to each and every one of you guys and gals, as I always say, as this week we did hit 50,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel. Whether you've been here from day one or you just joined today, welcome to the channel. Really, truly appreciate that. So quite the milestone to hit 50,000 subscribers. Here's to 100,000. I don't know. We'll see if we can make it that far eventually. But I really do appreciate the push to 50,000. We hit 50,000 just a couple of days after the 5-year anniversary video, which we did on the channel here. Still great to make it, and hopefully you guys checked out that 5-year anniversary video on the channel, especially at the very end, a fun look back. A lot of people enjoyed that. A lot of the bits, a lot of the fun clips over the last 5 years put in a super mix at the end of that video there. But it was nice to have my dad come to the channel, my wife, of course, good friends of the channel, Jeff George and Night Demon, a part of that. A lot of fun stuff. Really appreciate everybody watching that one. But if you guys did watch that video, and like I said, hopefully you did, a lot of announcements, part of the 5-year celebration of this channel. Did announce a brand new podcast. My wife has been joining me, and we've already got a couple of videos in the can. But this week, the first episode of The Kyle Peterson Show did drop. A lot of craziness going on that one. A lot of fun stuff as well. Seemingly, most people enjoyed it. A lot of positive feedback. I think a lot of people are checking it out. A lot of good bits, a lot of good stuff. Going to be in that every single Tuesday, available wherever podcasts are found. You guys know all the Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all those places. Also, the video cast available on YouTube, and you will get, of course, the video cast early as a Patreon member. We'll talk about that here in a second. But a lot of fun putting that up, and every single Tuesday morning, you'll have a new episode of The Kyle Peterson Show. Never know what we might get into over there. There is some action figure stuff. There is some tales and stories of my time, of my life, I guess. And there are a lot of people I think will resonate with some of those stories. Deeper dive into some action figure stuff. We're going to do figure of the week, album of the week, as I kind of foreshadowed last week, will no longer be in the toy news. Toy news getting so long, moving album of the week to the weekly podcast. You'll see that over there. All points in between, a lot of segments, a lot of fun, of course, with the podcast. So join the journey. Make sure you do rate the podcast. Give it 5 stars. They always say that. All the podcasts I listen to, at least. Make sure you do give it 5 stars. Leave a comment, all that kind of stuff. You guys get the drill. You've seen a podcast or heard a podcast in the past. But I do appreciate the support and a lot of good feedback on that first episode. A lot of people enjoy my wife more than me. Maybe she'll come check out. I know one guy said, can she come check my action figure collection out? Well, maybe if the price is right, who knows? You never know what Angie's up to. She's the wild card, that's for sure. But check out the podcast. Episode 1 is up. Episode 2 on Tuesday, or probably this weekend if you are a Patreon member. Be ready for that as well. But that wasn't the only huge announcement this week. The second one was my second book has officially come out. Available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. Hardcover and softcover available. As of right now, I'm filming this right now, Amazon actually did a price cut on the hardcover, so it is a little bit cheaper. It's just, Amazon does that. They did that with my first book, the Jakks Class Superstars book. For months, it was like a lot cheaper. They were actually selling it at the cost to make it. They're doing something very similar this time. So great time to pick this book up if that is your thing. Softcover or hardcover, as I did mention. If you want to order a copy from me, you can do that. If you do that, I have a nice little bookmark I'll autograph. Got a Kyle Peterson Show sticker as well while supplies last. But if you want that, reach out to me on social media. You guys know the drill by now. TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com. You can also hit me up via email. We can work something out to get one of these to you, both of them, whatever you want to do. Some people have requested my wife to sign the book. Some people have requested my dad to sign the book. I guess it's all on the table if you want to. But I do appreciate the support on this new book. For a little while, it was like the #1 book in wrestling, the #1 book in action figures and hobbies, kind of going in and out of the top 10 or so as we've been going. But I have to think more people pick it up. It is payday for a lot of people on Friday, but a lot cheaper book, of course, than the original Jakks Class Superstars book. A lot less pages, in all honesty, there. Appreciate Brian Myers, of course. Brian Myers, professional wrestler. He loves this line just as much as I do, probably even more, honestly. And he did write the foreword for the book, which was very cool of Brian to do as well. Salt of the earth, that Brian Myers. But if you're after the book, head to Amazon, head to Barnes & Noble, or hit me up. We'll get you guys a copy. So a lot of fun around that. A lot of fun around the 5-year celebration of this YouTube channel to see where we began to where we're at right now. Constant learning, constant improvement. You ever heard that one? Well, there you just heard it again. So there it is. So that stuff's going on. But the last housekeeping thing, we're now in the month of April. April is here. That means new Patreon giveaway. This month's a big one. This is a pricey one. We're going to give away the brand new Snake, brand new. It could be brand new to you, I guess. Snake Eyes and, of course, Timber Mezco figure. And I still have not got around to unboxing mine of this one. I will probably sometime this month, maybe. But I'm going to give away this one to one of the lucky Patreon members. Check out the Patreon. Early access, best way to support the channel. You guys know the drill by now. But that is the giveaway for the month of April. So, a lot going on, a lot going on the couch with Todd McFarlane. Todd, we'll talk. Maybe I'll save that as a Patreon exclusive for my monthly Q&A. Todd, I was very disappointed you not at the 5-year special, and there's a lot to discuss, and I will only tell that on Patreon. I'm not going to tell that for the world out here. So, could be a story in the future if one of the Patreon members asks the question. When I do the question and answer every month. So that'll be coming at the end of April. So stay tuned to that. But Todd, you're always welcome on the couch. You're back here today, and we'll talk to you here in a second here. But let's get after it. Let's get after the toy news this week. And I think the biggest toy news this week, I've seen it in so many Facebook groups, so many things going on. We touched on it last week. I guess we'll touch on it again here. By no means am I an expert. By no means am I going to dive into a political discussion because I don't care that much. I really don't. It's funny how people think I maybe care more one way or the other. I honestly do not care. I always say I want to enjoy life to the fullest. I want to do what I enjoy. And honestly, politics, reading politics, talking politics, that's about the last thing I want to get involved in. It really is. I just have no interest. I don't have a passion for that. And you only got so much time on your punch card. And I would recommend this to everybody out there. There's some people, and I have really good friends that are just living by politics. My old boss, I can't even talk to the guy anymore because that's all he talks is politics. It's just hard times. I mean, you only got one life. You don't want to waste it up in stuff you really can't control. And that's how I think of most time about politics. No matter what you do, you're only one person. You're not going to change it. They always say every vote counts. Yeah, it does. But does it? Does it? I don't know. But I'm not a political guy. I don't like politics, all that stuff. But the tariffs are going on. What? Todd McFarlane for the couch. You know something about this? We talked about you last week. Oh, tariffs? You call it tariffs. I call it tariffs. I don't know about you guys. Tariffs is what you say? Oh my gosh. I'm a potato guy. He's a potato guy. I'm a tomato guy. He's a tomato guy. Todd and I, we agree on a lot of stuff. We don't agree on a lot of stuff. Like I always wear pants. I always wear socks. I pronounce things correctly. Oh, Todd. Todd from the couch. No show on the 5-year anniversary, but that's okay. No hard feelings. No hard feelings. But tariffs going on this week, running wild all over the place. We saw Zombie Sailor Toys this week say he's going to produce a model, basically a made-to-order model instead of buying extra stock and stuff, which honestly, to me, I think that's what I would have done from the get-go if I was him. Either way is what it is. We heard from Long Box Heroes. They canceled the Kickstarter line because of the price points and the changes. Once again, I don't know a ton of stuff, but I do know things usually work themselves out for the most part. They usually do. If you can bide your time and wait a little bit. I've been at a lot of crazy negotiation tables over millions and millions of dollars, dare I say billions over 10 years. I've done a lot of negotiating back and forth. And at the end of the day, Jesse Ventura says it. We've said it on the channel all the time. Follow the money. Follow the money at the end of the day. If people start getting hurt in their pocketbooks, we've seen some of that this week with the 401ks and stuff. I'm just glad I'm not retiring anytime soon because that's a whole story for another day. I had a really good buddy I worked with as a kid, kind of a mentor figure. He was going to retire. The Dow and all that stuff dropped like a tank in like '04 or something like that. He had to stick around another 2 years. 2 years later, he died of cancer. stuff like that grinds my gears. But I'm not in a place to retire anytime soon, so I don't really pay too much attention to that stuff. Obviously, I want it to go up, but right now it's going down. But I always think of positivity. You should always be positive about stuff. It could always be worse. People are grumbling and complaining. Well, guess what? You can walk. Guess what? You're breathing. It can always be worse. And I think people would appreciate life a little bit more if they took that step back sometimes. Instead of letting it really grate in their gears and get in it. I get it. It's hard to say don't think about it, but think about your friends, think about your family, think about your passions, think about your hobbies. Probably have more fun. I think you would. And if there's nothing you can really control, I don't know anybody watching this video that can really control the tariffs at this point. It is what it is. But as I said, follow the money. I think things will work themselves out. There's too much money in play across the board that people aren't going to want to lose the money. When it starts to really affect the pocketbooks, be it a week from now, be it a month from now, 6 months from now, I think we'll see some changes. But that's just me. That's just me. Think what you want, do what you want. But it is what it is, and it is going to affect some of us in action figures. A lot of people jumping the gun early, like Todd from the couch last week, jumping the gun early. I don't know. Big Bad Toy Store raising prices across the board, jumping the board a little bit early, I do think. And there's been rumors going out there, all kinds of crazy lists saying, oh, this one's going to be this. Nobody really knows for sure, of course. People say Marvel Legends are going to be $36 a piece. Well, if that happens, guess what? They're going to lose a lot of sales. So there's going to be a lot of give and take there. And historically, if I'm not mistaken, once again, I'm by no means an expert that just lives this stuff. Since so much manufacturing of action figures in this case that we're talking about is made over there in China and Vietnam and stuff, there hasn't really been tariffs because we've never really produced that stuff over here to a large extent, like other things, clothing and stuff like whatever, food, whatever it may be. I don't think there was those tariffs. So I could see some things eventually kind of being, I don't know if exempt's the right word, but maybe a workaround, look around, something like that, because it would take a lot of years to get up and running from moving that from China or wherever, Vietnam, to America. I just don't think there's too many big companies, Hasbro's, Mattel's of the world, that there's too many dollars at play. I just can't see it. But long story short, the ramblings of a madman, dare I say a diary of a madman, like a young Ozzy Osbourne. I'm just taking the wait and see approach. How about a little patience? Don't get too worked up. It's not affecting our wallets quite yet in action figures. We haven't seen a price increase we've really had to pay for yet. But when that time comes, what do we say on the channel? I feel like Pee Wee Herman. I do. I feel like Mr. Rogers or something like that. It's like a call and response right here. But what do we say on the channel? We say constant learning, constant improvement. But we also going to wait and see a little bit here. We just got to lay in the weeds a little bit. And of course, at the end of the day, like I always say, vote with our wallets. That's what we got to do. You want change, you don't want to vote with your wallet. But the other thing I'm thinking too is the long game. We've talked about the long game for 5 years as well. A little bit of patience goes a long way. Let's say Marvel Legends goes to $36. I'm probably not paying that anymore. And a lot of other people probably aren't. But guess what? They'll do the wait and see approach, play the long game, get it on clearance for the $25. And that could happen too. But that's not a thing Hasbro wants to be in the game of, as we've said before. So long-winded response, long-winded talk here, but there's a lot of stuff afoot, and dare I say, could be trouble afoot. We'll see what ends up happening. We'll try to follow a little bit, but like I said, I'm not getting too deep in the weeds. I'm not going to do it. I got other stuff to do. Maybe I got to write another book. I don't know about that, but I got other stuff to do, and you should have other stuff to do, I think, as well. But I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. Do what you want. Just don't hurt anybody. That's pretty much my philosophy on life. My other philosophy on life is our good friends at Powertown, Todd McFarlane. We love Powertown on this channel. And if you guys saw the podcast, the first episode of the podcast, I did a segment called The Deeper Dive, and I dived into Powertown. I dived right in there, talked a little Powertown stuff, and just the stuff we've talked about for so long here on the channel. It is absolutely inexcusable in this day and age where social media is free. They have a website, they have social media, they have, the X, the Twitter, they have the Instagram, they have all this kind of stuff. How can we not get more updates, especially when people like myself, I can speak personally, have over $1,000 tied up with them? They should just give something. And I think a lot of us are very forgiving of these things. I think a lot of us would be forgiving of Powertown if there was updates along the way. But there's just nothing. And in January, we heard Remco's shipping soon. Well, here it is, April. Go to the website. Remco's shipping soon. Well, what is soon? What is the definition of soon? We need Todd McFarlane. Go upstairs, get the dictionary, Todd. No, you're not moving? Oh, of course he's not moving. He's not moving now. Can't tell Todd what to do. But the dictionary would probably say soon to me is like in the next couple of weeks, like 1 or 2 weeks. That's soon. They get it at the warehouse in 2 weeks. It ships 3 weeks. It's soon. That's soon. 3 months is not soon. That's a long time. So that's what we're seeing with the Remcos. But now we're in April. Guess what? The Ultras Series 2 TNA shipping in April. Is that going to happen? Absolutely not. There's no way that's happening. There is no way. I'm almost wanting to run a contest where you guys could email me. Maybe that'll be something we do, or maybe I'll think of something. But I want somebody, if somebody can guess the actual day I get, we'll say the TNA line or the Ultras 2, or maybe even the Remcos. I don't know if there's enough time, depending. But who can guess the actual day? And if somebody guesses the actual day, like they'll win a prize or something. I think that'd be a fun contest. Maybe we'll look at doing something like that. I don't know. But it's just unexcusable here because have we seen Ultras 2? Have we seen TNA actual production pictures and stuff? We haven't seen anything. No updates at all. And like I said, social media is free. And I think Brian Myers said on the Major Pod this week that he had seen those pictures. Well, how are we only hearing that from Brian? Kudos to Brian, of course. Like I said, Salt of the Earth wrote the forward to the book. But how can Powertown not show that on their own website? They're showing Brian and stuff. It would do a lot for that company if they showed those ones off. I don't understand the madness over there. I want to understand it. And I've said it 1,000 times. I don't think there's anybody that wants that line more than me. Is there anybody that is so deep into the wrestling fandom that is just a classics guy at the end of the day? Wrote the book on it after all. This is what I want. Give me what I want. That's what I'm saying. It's just wild to me. It's just wild to me. But I wish the best for Powertown. I wish the best for my wallet. You know, they've had a lot of money of mine for a long time. So I hope this turns out very well for them. But man, oh man, here we are in April. Are we going to see any of this? Will we even see Remcos in April? News at 11. I don't know. I'm trying not to get my blood pressure up too much right there. But how about some happier things? And speaking of Brian Myers, we were just name dropping Brian Myers left and right lately here. But Collect Major, we got Collect Major going on right now, and they got a new pre-order. It's the month of April. We got 4 figures this month, getting more expensive with this line, as we know. We got the Islanders. A lot of people looking forward to that Islanders there. We've talked about that. Kerry Von Erich won Texas Tornado. Pretty darn cool to see that as well. And then we got Bruiser Brody, an all-timer if there ever was one. 4 brand new big rubber guys up for pre-order. You got the whole month to order. Personally, I always wait till the last day, send a reminder because I have so many pre-orders all the time and I have so many people sitting on my money all the time. I want these companies to sit as little as possible. And you can use your own money for your own thing. So I always wait till the end, but do what you want to do. Just don't forget to pre-order because the pre-order is the order, as we do know with these. Shout out to the Major Pod group over there. Really fulfilling a lot of childhood wants and needs that we didn't get once upon a time. So very, very fun to see that one right there. And then this week we saw something else really interesting. It looks like the next Target AEW exclusive is going to be Sting. It's Sting, of course, one of my all-time favorites. It will be from his last match. So a very easy repaint, re-release kind of thing. But we've seen these Target exclusives. A lot of people waiting for clearance. A lot of people getting clearance right now on those. I have to imagine of anybody, Sting will probably be the most popular one. So it'd be interesting if Sting ever does go to clearance. But man, oh man, give me all the Sting figures. Just give me more Surfer Sting figures. What are we doing? I need more Surfer Sting. But we do got this Sting from his last match. Quite the moment in time. Definitely going to be worth a pickup. Day one order for me as well. Mattel not lost in the shuffle this week. A little main event as we're dabbling in more main events than ever before. Really good lineups over there. New articulation means renewed interest for a lot of collectors, myself included. But we saw main event series 157. A lot of the old friends in there. Drew McIntyre, Jey Uso, Rey Mysterio. Kind of old hat for the most part. But we did see Nathan Frazier. First time in the line. Last time in the line, I guess we'll see. We do have Axiom coming in the latest Elite Series, so we'll get their tag team a little bit in a roundabout way going on here. But we also saw Alundra Blaze, which is really interesting to me because we're getting Medusa in Ultra Series 2 from Powertown. And I think we're seeing Powertown, a lot of these Ultras, Remcos, we're seeing Hacksaw, we're seeing JYD, we're seeing Medusa, Alundra Blaze right now. These TNA performers, I mean, Jordan Grace, she's over in NXT. All these people aren't going to be in part of the Powertown universe anymore. It's just absolutely wild how this is shaken out. But we did see Alundra Blaze come to the main event. Now, she had an Elite just like this one that's at least pictured. Part of the Walmart flashback wave way back when in the Elite form. So it'd be interesting to see how that goes. Nathan Frazier, Alundra Blaze, must-haves for me, at least as of right now. And then must-haves, again, a guy that has been really flying under the radar for many years. A guy that should have way more action figures than he does have is finally getting back out there. I have to imagine this guy is kind of making the scene on conventions and autograph signings once again. Of course, one of the greatest babysitters I've ever had in my entire life. Who are we talking about? We're talking about one Perry Saturn coming to Figure Collections, Wrestling Something Wrestlers line in a retro style. I love Perry Saturn. I've spent a lot of time with Perry Saturn. Just him living in the Midwest, kind of the area, and working a lot of indie shows for my buddy. I like Perry Saturn a heck of a lot. And good friend of the channel, Gage Octane, of course, the announcer of the Kyle Peterson Show. he has a couple pinfall victories over one Perry Saturn once upon a time. So shout out to Gage Octane, the announcer of the Kyle Peterson Show. A lot of fun with Perry Saturn, and I'm looking forward to more of these. Have to imagine we'll see a Bone Cruncher in the future. We'd love to see a Pinnacle Edition. Can we get, Cronus as well? Can we get the Eliminators? Oh my gosh. Give it to me. I'm just an ECW guy after all. I wrote a book on it. Remember earlier I wrote the book on it, available at Barnes & Noble. Yeah, you guys know. Amazon too. Cheaper on Amazon, of course. Cheap plug for your wallets there as well. But Perry Saturn coming, very excited for that one. And now what is old is new again. Of course, Grapplers and Gimmicks did it first. Some will say Heels and Faces did it better. I guess we'll have the test here at the table sometime in 2026 probably. We did Mabel. We got Mabel come to Heels and Faces. Now Grapplers and Gimmicks already did it. Now we're getting another look at Mabel. Cool for what it is. Can't wait to see it. We'll wait until we see it. There we go. KWK, of course, good friends of the channel as well. They did announce, or I guess I should say I announced, how about that? The 5-year anniversary special. I got to announce their latest signee. It was one Ken Patera, and my dad had quite the stories of Ken Patera back in the day. Kind of, but that was my dad's generation, and my dad was up there in AWA territory when Ken Patera was running wild for a while. But he is coming to KWK as well as PG-13. Asia Kong, we talked about last week. We also saw this week the Barry Horowitz KWK order is up for pre-order. The pre-order is the order, so get your order in if that is your thing, if you're looking for that as well. And speaking of Grapplers Gimmicks, we talked about them a little bit earlier. A lot of cool stuff shown off this week. We did see Rick Martel and Damian Demento, the retro style figures, looking really nice. Can't wait, especially that Damian Demento. Very excited to see that one in hand. We also saw the Godwins. Very cool, the more elite style, the Regium? Oh, Todd, don't start again. Something like that. We got that coming with the Godwins. I'm here for that. I don't know if we're going to get Godwins anywhere else, so I'm here for some of these companies that can make us the Dino Bravos. We got the Ringside Collectibles, the Grapplers and Gimmicks, the Pinnacle line from Zombie. If we can get these Herculeses and Dino Bravos and Power and Glories and all the ones we've got in elite style form, I think a lot of us, myself included, will be very, very happy. And it looks like the Godwins are coming sooner rather than later. And we also got the announcement this week that Gangrel is coming. So that's another one a lot of people are looking for. No sign of the puffy shirt yet, but it is coming, as it did say in there. Very excited for Gangrel. Will look great. We can put it with our Brood, Edge, and Christian. Hopefully it scales right, looks right, but a very fun one to see right there. And last but certainly not least for wrestling, you guys know I'm just a bobblehead guy at the end of the day, right? I guess I'm turning into one. I always joke I'm not, but then I look over there, I got like 15 bobbleheads. Well, Foco's got 2 more 1 of 100 that are each about $100, $110 each. Jake the Snake, the Roberts, and John Cena this week. Limited edition, up for pre-order if that is your thing. Check it out, of course, over there at Foco. A lot of wrestling news this week, but we're just getting started. And as Jerry Reed always says, and Jerry Reed, once again, not messing around. He's not kidding. We got a lot to dive into. That was just wrestling. Now we're going to transition to my other love, G.I. Joe, the Classified series. April 15th, big pre-order day. Also tax day. Oh my gosh, I don't want to write that check, but you got to if you want to not go to jail, I guess, or pay a fine, or I don't know what happens if you don't pay your taxes. Maybe nothing. Should I roll the dice? I don't know, but tax day, pre-order day for G.I. Joe. Snake Eyes version 4, a favorite childhood one of mine. Not for everybody, of course. A lot of people didn't like that era, but I like that Snake Eyes figure. Very excited to get that one in my collection. And I'm going to say it. You guys don't tell anybody about this. This is just between us watching this, but I actually like the Duke from the same era. That's probably my favorite version of Duke. Maybe Tiger Force Duke's probably my favorite because I'm a Tiger Force guy, and of course the true leader, everybody knows, Flint, the true leader of Tiger Force. Not just G.I. Joe regular, but also Tiger Force. And Duke got on the team somehow out of pity. Yeah, you're right, Todd McFarlane, out of pity because we all know the true leader there. And Flint, salt of the earth, as usual, says, all right, Duke, come on over here. We'll let you on. And Duke joined the team, I guess. So long story short, Snake Eyes coming version 4. That'll be part of the pre-order. Major Blood getting a second do-over. One of the Cobra Island ones, one of the most dangerous Scalper Island, is what some people called it. Yeah, I get it. But Major Blood coming this time with pinless joints, some updated stuff, some Outback body parts. Really a redo for Major Blood, which I personally would have rather seen a redo in the retro line, but it is what it is. It's getting a Major Blood out there. An important character to many. Out there again for everybody. Another one I love. You guys know I'm a Dreadnoks guy, especially Monkey Wrench. Looking like my boy Lemmy. Looks like he could be Torch's brother or something like that. But I loved Monkey Wrench when I was a kid playing with my Joes. Loved him in the cartoon. Very excited to have that one. To me, that's the last big name Dreadnoks that's been missing. But get me Zanzibar. Can I get Zanzibar? But Monkey Wrench is a big time Dreadnought player. I would say even above Road Pig personally. That's me personally. But very excited to see Monkey Wrench in the line. Can't wait to pick that one up. And last but certainly not least, like I said about Snake Eyes, same thing with this Cobra Commander. Loved this Cobra Commander. And as a kid, this was Python Patrol Leader Cobra Commander when I was a kid playing with my action figures. That's how I used him. But of course, Operation Dragonfly, we remember that Cobra Commander got turned into a snake, got turned back into this. This was his new outfit. But it also comes with an iguana, and it's crazy how many people didn't know this iguana is Serpentor. Oh my gosh, changing. You didn't know that, Todd? Get out of here. Todd McFarlane didn't even know that either. You don't follow G.I. Joe? They didn't have G.I. Joe in Canada? I don't believe that either. I know there's some Canadians out there that had G.I. Joe, but Serpentor when he got turned into iguana. So very cool to see all that one coming out. I love those deep cuts, and I love the classified line. So very excited about these. Can't wait to pick these ones up. When that time does come, I guess April 15th pre-order, but then after that, we'll see where it goes. But very excited for some new G.I. Joe. Almost forgot the Claw. That finally is coming out. A classic vehicle. I had that as a little kid as well, so definitely playing with the childhood nostalgia right there. A lot of fun from the Joe team as usual. But how about the Marvel Legends team? The ups and downs of Marvel Legend. An interesting stream this week from Marvel Legends. A lot of stuff going on. And one of the most, if not the most controversial figure in a heck of a long time. People are even calling me out. I don't know why I'm getting called out on these things. But Maximum Spider-Man, of course, what was that? $50 price point. Never once did I say that was an okay price point. I put a guess out there that it would be like Mattel Ultimate Wrestling figures. That it would be about $33. Never expected $40, but it is what it is. And as I always say, I already said it once in this video, vote with your wallet. If you don't like the price point, pass on it. Wait for a sale, wait for clearance, or just skip it. It's your choice. It's your money. Do what you want to do. But we did see Maximum Hulk this week, which, oh boy, I haven't been around. I've been on the road to Kansas City all week. I've been out in the salt mines working, kissing babies, shaking hands, doing the thing I do out there. But I've been in Kansas and Missouri and a little bit of Nebraska and Iowa. I've been working the towns this week. The most busiest guy around, the James Brown of YouTube. I still find time. But a lot of stuff going on this week. And more on that in the figure hunts, more on that in other videos and stuff. So stay tuned. But Maximum Hulk, I haven't heard a lot of chatter. I don't know if people were happy with the price point or not on this one. I guess you guys tell me in the comments. Looks like it's about $10 more than Spider-Man. When I look at them side to side, I'm like, something feels weird there. It almost feels like Hulk should be $20 more because he's so much bigger. But then Spider-Man is overpriced, so then maybe Hulk should be right there. So I haven't wrapped my brain around it yet. I love Hulk. I love a big figure, but man, $60 is a tough price point. And in first impression, I was like, I feel like I already have this Hulk. Then, of course, they showed some of the new articulation, the new stuff, some of the new accessories. You get that shiny, bright, shiny toy effect. I don't know. I am sure I'll pick this up. I always do, but maybe I'll do it under protest. Oh, that'll teach them. I don't know. We'll see. But it does look good. Pre-order is up right now, but man, I just hope this Maximum, like I said from the get-go, I'm okay with it when maybe they do one a quarter. So we get Spider-Man the first quarter, we get Hulk the next one, you get Wolverine, then you get Captain America. You put 3 or 4 of these out a year, it's not as big of a deal. I guess we'll see what happens with the, what do you call them? The Tariffs? Tariffs is what I call them, but Tariffs? Okay, the Tariffs. We'll see what happens and how that affects these as well in the future. But if they do 4 a year, it's not so bad. But if you start doing 1 a month or something, well, guess what, folks? That's not going to be a good day for Marvel and Hasbro, more importantly there. So we'll see. But interested to hear your thoughts on that Hulk in the comments down below. Also saw Target, which is interesting. I found the new Professor X at Target, just walking in there today. But we did see Mystique and Weapon X, future Target exclusives. Weapon X I'll probably pick up because I'm such a Wolverine guy and I'll display kind of a different look, but it'll be a nice update to the old one. And that classic Toy Biz one when I was a kid was an all-timer. I had multiple variants of that one, even with like the black wires, red wires. Don't get me started. But we also saw Mystique, and I don't know. I'm going to wait and see on this Mystique. I feel like I don't need it. I have the Walgreens one. I have the animated series one. I feel like there may not be enough meat on the bone right here, but we know Target discounts, clearance. We see that a lot. Maybe I'll wait for a sale. Maybe I'll wait for something, or maybe I'll just pass on this. I've passed on a few Legends lately because I already feel like the one I have is good enough. I always like, as I say, it's a dropping catchphrases all day here. Constant learning, constant improvement. I don't know if there's enough improvement on this one for me to dive in, but we'll see. We'll see when it looks like in hands. We also saw the upcoming Thunderbolts waves, a lot of 2-packs coming, a lot of stuff around that movie. Should be interesting. We saw Sentry making his debut, of course. U.S. Agent, Red Guardian, Yelena Belova, and of course, U.S. Agent, one of my favorites from the comic books when I was a kid. Very cool to see those. Be interested to see how well these Thunderbolts sell and all that fun stuff that goes on with it. We saw the Amazon exclusive 2-pack supervillains with Madame Mask. I almost said Madame Mystique. Madame Mask and Crossbones. Love Crossbones. Love that last figure. This one looks to be an improvement. Madame Mask, they did put a segment out saying, hey, there's going to be correction on the coloring there. So they showed the right one there. But another 2-pack Amazon exclusive. One of those ones, you play your cards right, you play a little of that long game, you might be able to get on deal. We see that a lot with Amazon. Amazon's wild for that. Of course, if you're patient enough, especially on Amazon exclusives, they will drop in price. Once again, did I mention I wrote a book? Oh, yeah, I did. But Amazon has this on sale already. So shout out to Amazon for funding the sale out there. Always appreciate that kind of stuff. But very cool of Amazon. And once again, this pack, probably going to find it on deal if you're patient enough. She-Hulk Fantastic Four, I'm here for that. I'm a sucker for the Fantastic Four retro cards. I love that. It's a nice homage. Don't start with the homage. Homage? Oh, here we go again. But love the She-Hulk from back then. Love that Fantastic Four Toy Biz. Can't wait to get this one up with her Fantastic Four suit on. Very, very fun to see that one there. Velocity Suit Peter Parker Gamerverse. Probably the weakest thing shown personally here. Depends how deep you are into the Gamerverse. I'm not a gamer, so it doesn't resonate with me like it does somebody that loves the video games. But it is what it is. But one that does resonate with me, Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man 3, Symbiote, Black Suit Spider-Man. Pretty cool to see this one from the movie. This will be an easy pickup. Really like the looks of that one right there. But we're not done. No, we're not. We're diving into the Motu. Of course, the Masters of the Universe. We saw some cartoon collections, saw some Masterverse this week, saw some Target exclusives. A lot going on in the toy news this week, as we know. But we did see the upcoming Masterverse, the 2 missing figures from the Masterverse. We saw Ninjor and we saw Terror Claw's Skeletor have to be coming sooner than later because they've been solicited. We saw Hurricane Hordak is around the corner. Of course, Club Grayskull. Get your collared shirt on if you want entry into that. That's why I'm wearing mine. Hurricane Hordak coming to the Mattel Creations. It looks like that'll be the next exclusive over there. Whiplash Cartoon Collection. Bo, oh my gosh, Bo, look at that mustache. That's a mustache you could sit a watch to all day long for sure. We also saw the Shadow Weaver as well. Cartoon Collection stuff coming. A lot of people enjoying that Cartoon Collection. A lot of people I know have dived out of Origins or just going Cartoon Collection only. I'm living that both life. I'm going both ways. That's what I'm doing there. We also saw out of left field, or at least I did on Friday this week, Cyclone Sketch Edition. Now, we've seen Sketch Editions, of course, over there at Target. Not a huge fan of these. Some of them are okay, but it really feels like I don't know, cash grab's the weirdest word to use because guess what? It's a business. Of course they're trying to grab cash, but it is a Target exclusive. It doesn't go everywhere. It's not going to be for everybody. It gets you into Target, so I understand what they're trying to do there, but it is like my brain can't wrap my head around it a little bit, but it is cool for what it is. And if you're into that kind of stuff, Cyclone available over there. We also saw the next 2-pack. Looks like they're getting away from the Stranger Things 2-packs and going more traditional avenue. We're seeing the Skeletor He-Man 2-pack there. Have to think that's a popular one. I can see a lot of people buying this one, putting it on their shelf just as a representation of He-Man and Skeletor, like at your office or something. I could see that happening for somebody there. So did think that one was pretty cool, but a lot of Master stuff this week as well, as Club Grayskull really taken over. Of course, entry into the club is always a fun time. But Todd, we're going to end it with you, buddy. No album of the week. You got to find album of the week in the podcast every single week this week. A lot of fun ones. Episode 2, I said already in the can. You'll have that this weekend for Patreon members. But Todd, this week, the Killing Joke Walmart exclusive Joker. Now, there was some craziness with that one. It was going to go up for pre-order and it said delayed. And if I'm not mistaken, Todd, correct me if I'm wrong with your toes. Give me some toe sign language. We did see that was supposed to be an Amazon exclusive, but somehow converted over to Walmart. So some wires crossed, something like that. I'm not exactly sure. Up there at Walmart, I passed on that one. Not enough meat on the bone for me on that. So that is out there. Dark Knight Metal. Dark Knight Metal, of course, everybody loves that. We've unboxed all those figures on the channel, but we got a BBTS exclusive version, kind of a grayscale, black and white scale, whatever you want to call it. That is available over there. We saw basically the same figure getting released here very soon with Killer Croc. So got to get the most out of your molds, am I right? Oh yeah, I'm right. I'm right for sure. We saw the pre-order up right now of Digital Dr. Fate, Digital Two-Face, Digital Superman. The pre-order is up right now. It's weird. About a month, 6 weeks ago, I did find the Platinum Dr. Fate Platinum Two-Face. We unboxed those on the channel. Check that out. I think we did that over on Kyle Peterson 2.0, if I'm not mistaken. Don't miss out on those. And then pre-order is up right now. I'm just playing that ever so long game. I don't know what to do with this one. It is the Super Friends in more of the Batman, Adam West style figures. Really want these, but I don't want to pay full price, and I'd rather have them in the traditional McFarlane scale. I'm almost thinking I'm going to wait and see how deep this line goes. And once Todd, if you do lose the license, we'll find out what you're losing the traditional McFarlane, but I have a feeling you might be hanging on to the statues and maybe something like this. I guess time will tell here in a year plus, of course. But I want to see how deep that Super Friends goes. And if it's really deep, I can always go back and get some of the ones I missed, I do feel like. So we'll see. But if you're after the Super Friends Series 1, up for pre-order right now at the usual places. And of course, jaystoysandgames.com is where I would recommend to pick up a lot of this stuff for. Thank you to them for sponsoring the channel this week. A lot of fun stuff going on, of course. But that is the toy news. A lot to dive into, a lot to dissect, a lot of controversial stuff this week. And oh my gosh, I can just see the comments already. But I think we all understand. Yeah, sure, don't we, Todd? Yeah, Todd, you don't understand anything. No, he doesn't. But that is the toy news. Let me know your thoughts on a bevy of things this week to talk about. Let me know in the comments down below. Of course, like and subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Thank you guys and gals once again for 50,000 subscribers. Don't forget my new podcast. You'll want to check that one out. A lot of people checking it out, of course, on YouTube, and surprisingly amount of people checking it out on audio. I'm really appreciated at that. Hopefully it translates to audio as I'm doing it, and I've told my wife too, we got to remember it's mostly visual, it seems, but there's going to be a lot of people listening on audio, and the proof is in the numbers so far. So I would say that, it's going really good. So hopefully you guys are joining it on both. I would recommend subscribing to YouTube, of course, but also subscribe to it over wherever your preferred platform is. And of course, once again, give it the 5-star rating and review. I am told that helps. So I guess I need all the help I can get. That's what I'm going to say there. But hopefully you guys enjoy the podcast. Stick around for episode 2. We got some crazy stuff coming up. We got some special guests here in a couple of weeks that'll probably be a part of that as well. A lot of fun stuff. So you want to go over to the Kyle Peterson Show, of course, on YouTube and wherever podcasts are found. Don't forget the book. Did I mention a book yet here? Of course, Barnes & Noble and Amazon. It's cheaper on Amazon, just saying, but choose your own adventure, what you want to do. On sale, the hardcover right now. Might as well get a deal. And once again, if you do want a copy of this, hit me up, TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com or social media. You guys know how to get a hold of me. I can get you a copy of this. I have some coming, I think, middle of April. I got a large stack coming, so you can hit me up and we can figure something out with that if you want to wait or just order it. Choose your own adventure, as we say all the time, multiple times on this very video, but appreciate the support on the book so far. Appreciate the support on the podcast. Appreciate the support on the channel at 50,000 subscribers. Thank each and every one of you out there. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Do not forget about the Patreon for early access to really everything, including the new podcast. One-stop shop over there, and it truly is the best way to support the channel, as I always do say. SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson, Threads, Instagram, and of course, TikTok. Never forget the TikTok, as you guys know. So there it is for another week of toy news. You know what I'm doing. I'm rocking and rolling, strutting and strolling my way into another weekend.
Are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?
We're going to the end of the line.